Welcome to the Sim Podcast. I'm your co-host, Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host, Ron. What a run.
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. Ron, this is episode 136, week 10 of the season. How are you feeling? Are you glad from last week's win?
Surprise win. Yeah, absolutely. I'm shocked, still in shock a little bit. But, you know, that I think that they gave us a taste of what Steelers could look like if they actually played well. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this week and the rest of the season.
Yeah, this is going to come down, especially with your division. It's going to come down tight. Even divisions. The AFC East. Yeah, you can say the same thing. So what's on the docket for this week? We're going to have the NFL news. We're going to have a preview. We're going to have a review of last week's games. We're going to have our power rankings, our game picks, game predictions for our teams. We're going to have our upset specials. And then you want to talk about the strength of schedule to end the show?
Yeah, we can wrap that up and talk about it as we get into rankings too. Just what lies ahead, I think, for both of our teams. It's pretty interesting when you look at the strength of schedule of what we face and what lies ahead for both of our teams.
I can tell you right off the bat, good things lies ahead.
Okay.
Very good things for the Patriots. So I'm going to start off. I know we're recording this on Thursday. There's a game going on, but let's talk about the trade, or let's talk about what the Patriots non-trade. The Steelers, did they get anybody in the trade?
No. We were on the phone, supposedly, allegedly, and I don't believe like half the stories that are out there, but on the phones, I think, shopping around for a receiver and didn't get one. So,
yeah, there's a lot of things that, listen, Patriots have $40-something million ready to spend, and I guess they just couldn't find a buyer or a seller. I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore. Then that thing comes out that they were talking to Tennessee, but the owner didn't want to deal with Mark Vrabel. I don't know how truth, or if that's just reporting or those are facts, but she, you know, they have a new owner now. She took over, and I think she might be the type that holds a grudge. She sees that Patriots are succeeding. Maybe there's something there. Maybe where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
The Stroud and Jalen Daniels injuries, so they're both going to be out this week?
Yeah, so Stroud is out this week. He's already been declared out. And Daniels, essentially, he'll be out a few weeks, right? He had that dislocation in his elbow. So he's out multiple weeks, potentially the rest of the season. We'll see how surgery goes and all that stuff. So big injuries to the quarterback position.
Well, let's be honest. It doesn't really matter that much. Washington Commanders were not going to make it out. But Houston Texans, well, they're also not. You're probably not going to make
they're in it, right? What's their record right now?
I don't know if they're in it. Right now, they're outside looking in. I don't even know if they're in the top 10.
They are right now at 3-5, so not fully out of it, but yeah,
I mean, I picked Jacksonville, spoiler alert, to win this game because I knew Stroud was going to go into that protocol. But it's neither here or there. Let's move on to the next thing. The Dolphins GM got fired, but they're keeping the coach till the end of the year. Why not fire both of them and just put an interim?
I can't tell you what they're doing. I don't know. They started to shop some players, right? As part of the trade deal. They ended up trading anyone, but
I know they got rid of one defensive end. They didn't get rid of Waddle, and I think there was another defensive end that they couldn't get a buyer for.
Yeah.
So I think they tried, but they asked for too much.
They're asking for too much. But listen, I don't know. I guess the owner really likes the head coach. What that means for next year, I don't know. But sounds like he's going to be around for the rest of the season at least.
Yeah. So Mike McDaniels, just keep betting against him and you'll be fine. The other news, Arizona is going with Brissett over Murray. Are you shocked? Because the coach there didn't draft Murray. He just kind of, took over when he was already there.
Yeah, so to be fair, Murray has been hurt, right? And he's been out, 3 or 4 weeks, and they didn't put him on IR. That's the question mark. They said, it looks like there's a chance for him to play this week. All of a sudden now, they're putting him on IR. Don't know why they waited so long. So it sounds like, though, they have some faith in Brissett. They like the way he's played, and they were going to make the move regardless of Murray is ready. So, that's another team now you're talking about when you're looking at next year for teams that are looking at the quarterback position. Add them to the list because I think Murray's time is done. I think Tua's time is done.
But isn't Murray in a guaranteed contract?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I think they might be stuck with him.
Well, anyone could be. Lots of teams have traded quarterbacks in the contract. I've seen tons of that happening.
Yeah, but if you're pretty dumb, that he's gonna be paid that money no matter what because it's guaranteed. Why would you trade for that guy? You have to be desperate mode, like really desperate, because
unless you, we were able to get Russell Wilson, and have Denver pay for his salary. So
you guys made it far with Russell Wilson, right?
What I'm saying is people will trade for Murray as long as they can get Denver to
pay for his contract.
So it's possible.
At this point, maybe if Arizona offers to pay for maybe part of the contract, but I don't know. Like, you're taking a chance. Has Murray actually played 16 games in the last 3?
I don't
think so.
Yeah, he's a small quarterback, an undersized guy. Great, very good accuracy, good arm, nice playmaker and stuff. But obviously can run a bit, but he's small, so he's gonna get be injured from time to time, and that's what you got to deal with. It's a long season too, right? Here we are at like 17 games, 18 weeks. NFL still talking about adding games and stuff. It's hard for most teams to keep their quarterbacks healthy.
So why not convert him? Why not?
To what?
I don't know. Maybe a slot receiver. I don't know.
No, I just can't say what he can do. And I don't know how, if you believe any of the rumors out there, but they would talk about him going back to playing baseball, because he was a top recruit, for baseball as well. So played in college and stuff. Maybe he can go back to playing that if he wants to hang it up in the NFL. But I doubt we're not there yet. I don't think. Not
only we're not there yet, but if his contract is guaranteed, why would he give up all that money?
Right.
You might as well just stick on the bench and collect the check.
Yeah. I agree. Like Cousins.
My cousin is it's like a robber.
Yeah.
The other one is sad news. Dallas player committed suicide. This is brand new. I just saw that he passed away, but I didn't know that it was via suicide. And what was his third year?
24 years old. I think this was his second year. Just came off a good week, right? Scored a touchdown last week off special teams. And according to what I've read so far, it looks like the family called for like a mental breakdown. He was having a mental breakdown, and they were pursuing him on the road, tried to get him to stop. He didn't stop. They lost him as they were pursuing him, and later found the truck with him slumped over. I think it goes to show you. A lot of people came out today, saw a lot of good things, a lot of positive messages about reaching out to people and stuff like that on Twitter. But you just don't know what people are like going through behind this, behind closed doors. What battles they're dealing with and stuff. And I I just think about like these last few weeks. It had him, Doug Martin, Nick Mangold, all these young NFL players, and with Martin and, Mangold, those were, what happened to Martin? I can't even remember now.
Mangold, he had a bad kidney or
Mangold
liver.
did, yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened to Doug Martin, though.
It was mental issues. Remember, He, in Oakland, he got like, the cops still, I still don't know what happened. Right. He was in custody and he died in custody.
So it's been a crazy month to me, or last like 3 weeks or so in the NFL, just like these crazy stories. And I know we're about to get into another one here shortly, but it's just sad. I don't know what else.
And the thing is, like, I think what's happening now, because I think these stories were always, present, but now because communication and all that stuff, electronics, things just get out. There's no way that the NFL can keep these stories hush. So I think, this is something that is coming to light. I don't know how they're going to deal with it. I don't know. The rookie symposium, I guess they'll have somebody mental issue. I don't know. But this is way too young. Mm-hmm. Way too young.
All of these guys, way too young.
Well, in this case, skipping a mental health issue, AB arrested in Dubai, shipped back to New Jersey. Are you surprised he's facing allegations of murder?
Allegations on video and everything.
It's on video? Wow.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I sent you the video. This took place months ago. And it was a big brawl. I think he actually got jumped. And he was kind of defending himself, but it was to a point where he took the gun out and started kind of chasing after the guy with the gun. That I think it goes from, defending, self-defense to, okay, you're the aggressor here. I think he crossed the line, so he fled, and he found him and extradited him back to the U.S., and now he's facing murder charges. We'll see if the charges stick and if they're able to arrest him, because he can, again, say that, he was just defending himself, but the video is, it's pretty damning.
It's going to be sad because I really enjoyed his tweets.
That guy was not, he was a loose screw.
To say the least.
He's had so many issues off the field. Like he's just, he needed to get help.
He needs to get help. I don't know if he needs to go to jail. He needs to go to a mental hospital. So, Ron, speaking of mental health, you tried to jib me a point.
Did I?
Yes, you did. You did not give me another point for having the Steelers win in my upset special. Is that
what we're doing? We're giving extra points for upset special.
Oh, you didn't know? Now it's a shock to you? Now it's a shock to you?
Okay.
Always you get points for the upset specials.
All right.
That's always been there.
That's fine.
So now, season total, you 88, I'm 83.
Yeah, you still got some time, but you're playing from behind.
Wow.
It's going to be hard for you to catch up.
I know. Objects may appear larger than they seem. That's all I'm saying. Let's talk about your team, because we laid out 2 losses in a row, last in the defensive secondary. So what happened? What turned it around?
They showed up. They showed up and played, complimentary football in a certain sense. Offense really much, but defensively, they tackled well. That's the start of it. They came up fired up and got 6 turnovers on the defensive side, and gave the offense a chance to just score some points. And on offensively, I think there was still a lot to be desired, but we still put up 27 points. It was enough for us to win. At no point did I feel like the game, except for maybe the first 10 minutes or so. But from there, it really wasn't a close game. I think Steelers kind of dominated. But it goes to show you just how good they can be defensively if they just show up every week. And it's hard to keep teams motivated. I get it. But these players are making millions of dollars. That's what Tomlin's job is to do, is to get them to be motivated and play to their potential every week in and week out. And then from a coaching standpoint too, the scheme, I think they simplify things a little bit, made it a lot easier, especially with all the injuries in the secondary. Ramsey having to play at the safety position. Your boy for the Patriots, Duggar, coming in and having to play, I think 50 plus snaps too. When he just got signed last week.
Yeah. And I was gonna go with Indy when we were doing our picks, and then I was listening to a podcast and someone was like, Daniel Jones is still lurking in there. The old Daniel Jones, the New York Giants Daniel Jones. And I was like, you know what? Danny Dimes, I guess his defense, which is supposed to be top rated defense, all it takes is one good hit or one strip. And that's what Watt did. I think he was either interception or strip fumble.
Strip fumble. Yep.
And then Daniel Jones.
And then the gate was wide open.
It was just interception, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, this is the Daniel Jones I know.
Yeah.
This is who. And, to make matters worse, it seems like they're going all in on Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's played well the entire year. You can't penalize him for having
he's played well, game. But, bringing in Sauce Gardner, bringing in...
Oh, they are going for it.
Yeah, they just hey...
They're going for it.
And you know what? I kind of applaud them for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because there's no Joe Burrows.
Yeah,
they might not be at Kansas City.
Still in first place. Still got the best record, I think, in the AFC. So
they might not have to face, Pat Mahomes. And definitely not Joe Burrows. Not with that defense, anyways. And we still don't know about the Lamar. It's going to take them winning just straight games, 10 straight games for them to even sniff the playoffs. So
I think the Colts will be fine after this. I think they'll bounce back for sure. They're not going to face a lot of defenses that get six turnovers, just a lot. It's kind of it reminds me of the Steelers Patriots game, right? When Steelers had a bunch of turnovers. That's not going to be the norm. I think they'll bounce back. They got a lot of veterans on their team. The coach seems to be really good. I think making the trades that they made for Sauce Gardner shows that they're all in and they believe that they not only are a playoff team, but they're a team capable of making a Super Bowl run. So I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that listen, in that division, they can definitely succeed, especially now Houston might be out. Tennessee's out from day one, and we still don't know about Jacksonville. We still don't know, but even if they get in, it's going to be a wild card team. So, yeah, I think Colts are definitely trending in the right direction. I saw this Pats Falcons game. And Pats dominated the first half. They dominated. I think they were up 14-7 or 14. I'm just going to look it up real quick. They were up basically 21-14. But the Falcons were not, they weren't blowing things out. They're blowing the Patriots out. But then the fourth quarter comes and it looked like, to me anyways, it looked like the Patriots were running out of steam. And that's one of the issues that this team has, is that the first three quarters, the defense is just dominant. And then it seems like they run out of gas. A lot of trick plays, especially with Drake May. It just seems like, I know Boutte wasn't playing, and it just they were playing with one arm tied behind their back. So, but we got the win, we got the victory, thanks to that Romo kid missing the extra point. But
let me say, I didn't watch most of the game, but I watched the very end. And the last 6-7 minutes or so, when Atlanta was trying to mount a comeback. And I kept telling myself, Atlanta's not going to win this game. Because Penix can't be consistent. Like I felt like there were so many opportunities for him at the end to make certain throws, and he just could not. I didn't trust him to be able to go down and score at the end and win the game. So as much as the comeback, I think it was a valiant effort and stuff. Like Atlanta's just not a team I think that are built to play from behind. And Penix still has, to me, even though you look at the numbers looked okay. 3 touchdowns, right? But, 37 pass attempts. I don't know why you would have him pass that much, but I just feel like he's not someone when it's crunch time that he can lead a team back to victory.
By halftime, they were 0 for 8 on third down, the Falcons were. They couldn't make a third down. And I was just like, if Drake May, didn't cause those fumbles that turned the ball over, the Patriots could have been up 2 extra touchdowns. So it's not, again, I'm not trying to say the Falcons, and that whole like, oh, you guys were clapping, it was throwing us off. That's some BS, right? That's some bullshit. That didn't happen. But I will say that, again, the Patriots shut down the run like they usually do. I don't think that this year they've had anybody reach the 100 yards marker.
Drake London going off like that kind of surprised me.
It was surprising, but at the same time, Gonzalez had a head injury towards maybe fourth quarter. So he had to leave the game. But by that time, I think Drake London had 2 touchdowns, but he had a good game. Drake London had a good game, 9 catches for 118 yards. Pretty good game. I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't know if that's going to happen. I definitely know that's not going to happen this week.
Yeah.
They don't have, Tampa Bay does not have, even though they have that rookie, he's not a dominant. I think Drake London is 6'6". He's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy. At least we got a win, and that was at 6 in a row. Very happy with this win.
See the Chicago game?
I saw parts. I saw parts of it because at halftime, I was like, I'm done with Chicago.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
I was like, I'm done with Chicago, and then
that game was crazy.
I mean, I know that after the game, like the offensive players for Cincinnati were like, "Hey guys, are you guys gonna show up for us one time?"
Yeah, Chase Brown said something publicly to the media, but you also had Jamar Chase, like, as they were going in the locker room, just like saying, "We just need one stop." I forgot exactly what he was saying, but it was just like he couldn't believe it. Like the defense just like did not show up, and to waste, right, when you're in the middle of a playoff chase. You got Flacco throwing for 470 yards, I think. 470. And you still can't win. That to me is insane. And let me just say something about Flacco. That's 2 games in a row. And that dude is a professional quarterback. That's all I can say. That's why Tomlin was scared when they traded for him. But it goes to show you, when you look around the league, there's a shortage of professional quarterbacks out there. Yet you got guys like Flacco that can more than capable to go out there and put up like 300 plus yards. But the NFL looks at those guys, those vets, that's just backups for some reason. We want to label them as backups because we want to get the young guy in, have them be the franchise and all this stuff. Well,
you want to win games or you want to sell tickets?
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
Right. So, Flacco, I think he's been balling. I hope he gets opportunity next season to land on a team that he can actually get some playing time. Team not like Cleveland, but a better team that knows what they're doing, so he can go out there and continue to, build on his career. But yeah, Cincinnati, that defense is just atrocious.
It was bad, but who I was really upset about? Or 2, it was Green Bay, because they blew up my parlay. I knew, I was like, usually I go with favorites on my parlay because I'm like, oh, there's no way. And I looked at this game, Carolina against the Packers, and I was like, okay, Packers at home, okay, this should just 12.5 was a spread. Okay, This is automatic. Nope. So is Carolina a good team now?
Carolina has always been a good team that plays inconsistent football. They can go out and beat really good teams and then go out and throw a stinker out there, especially on the offensive side. So their coaches know what they're doing, right? I think they're like, from a personal standpoint, the quarterback position, they got to figure that out. They're gonna have to find somebody else next season because they got a good squad. They had some good players.
Never good running back.
Yeah, good running back, like rookie receiver who looked pretty decent. Probably need to add a little bit, to the receiver room, but they got some good young talent. It's just the quarterback position they need to fix.
They got two good receivers, Leggett and other guy from Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah, that was, and I stayed away from the Buffalo Kansas City game because I was like, I know that's gonna be up to the very end, and I was just like, no, I stayed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, those, and then what can you say about Dallas?
Yeah. They're done. They're cooked. Losing that game to Arizona, I don't get it. The other one I was going to say is about Minnesota. That's a little bit surprising, with McCarthy going out there in Detroit
at home.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising too. So, any given Sunday, I guess, it's like they say.
Yeah, but that was a division game.
Division game, right? Stuff like that can happen.
Green Bay, Carolina. I mean, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. Ron, who is in your power rankings for week 10?
Yeah, so I'll go through this quickly. I got Seattle at number 1. They were at number 4 last week. I got Philly at number 2. I had them at number 6 last week. Indy, I have at number 3. They were at number 2 last week, so I didn't penalize them too much. Tampa, I moved up to 4. Detroit, I dropped them to number 5. Green Bay, I dropped them to number 6. They were at number 3 last week. Buffalo, I moved them up to number 7. The Rams at 8. Kansas City, even with their loss, and I think this is their fourth loss. I'm considering the teams that they play, so I still have them in my top 10. I have them at number 9, and then San Francisco at number 10. So I got San Francisco in. Denver was the team that I put out. I pushed them out because they looked pathetic. Even though they won, they looked pretty pathetic. And like these teams that I have here lurking, I want to talk about these for a little bit. Denver, New England, Pittsburgh, the Chargers.
Yeah, 3 of those teams are leading the division.
Exactly, and I got them lurking. But the reason I have them out, because every single one of those teams have something wrong with them, right? Denver, Bo Nix. Like, this dude doesn't show up every game for the first 3 quarters, and it's not till the end. I don't know what to make of him, but he's taking a step back at the quarterback position. So, as good as that defense is, I don't know if I can like trust him at all. The Chargers, injuries. Again, they lost all their tackle. They're down 3 running backs, I think, at this point. I know they're doing well and winning games. I think Harbaugh should be up for Coach of the Year. That's how, impressed I am with their performance, given all their injuries. Pittsburgh, impressive, but not consistent. Impressive win this week, but you saw what happened the last 2 weeks. And, I have a hard time keeping them in my top 10. I don't know if I'll be able to put them in my top 10 the rest of the season here. We'll talk about strength of schedule later, but they are most likely going to be favored in only 3 of the remaining 8 games or whatever is left for them. Very inconsistent. Defense is atrocious. Patriots, and again, strength of schedule here. The teams they're on a roll. They look impressive, but the teams that they've beaten, I went back and looked, 20-40 record. That's a .333 winning percentage. So, and then you're coming off this win where you almost lost to Atlanta, right? And you should have, like you said, put them away because I think you displayed you were a better team, but you kept Atlanta in it. So, for me, New England has the best chance to get in the top 10. I want to see what they do this week against Tampa. I think that'll show me whether or not they're a top 10 team or if they're just a pretender at this point. But these, like I said, all four of these teams that are like hovering around 11, 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there, I don't have any really trust in any of those teams at all.
I mean, yes, all those four teams that you mentioned, they're not Super Bowl contenders. None of them. Not even, and I know New England is the hottest team right now, but no one's saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I can say this, Denver is probably going to be in the playoffs. New England is probably going to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, if they win that division, they're probably going to be in the playoffs. All these teams are going in the playoffs. Hence, to me anyways, they should be in the top 10 because right now...
Well, all your top 10 are going to be in the playoffs. Are there any teams that I just listed in my top 10 that aren't going to be in the playoffs? I mean, I guess Kansas City.
Kansas City
has a chance to be out, but it's still Kansas City.
We don't know. Detroit, I mean, right now, they're in second place?
Detroit is in it. They are 5-3. They're in second place.
Yeah, they're in second place. I mean,
49ers are 6-3.
Yeah, but it's easy sprinkle schedule with them. They have an easy schedule.
Yeah.
When you put them in there. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, when I look at the top 10, I mean, I'm not sure about Detroit because they're in second place. Buffalo is in second place. Kansas City, we're not even sure. Do you really think San Francisco's gonna win that division?
I don't think they need to win the division necessarily to be in the top 10.
But do you trust them to go on the road and win if they make the playoffs?
I have the Seahawks at this point winning the division, but Seahawks are 6-2, Rams are 6-2, Niners are 6-3, right?
So they're in third place.
Yeah,
and you have them in the top 10.
Yeah,
at third place.
They're 6-3, and they've beaten some good teams, including I think the Seahawks. If I'm not mistaken.
That's what you say. You can say by Tampa Bay, but look at who else they beat. Nobody good.
So you're saying Tampa Bay is not in the top 10?
Well, I have them in the top 10 because they're leading the division, but not because they're in third place. They're leading the division. They deserve to be in the top 10. If they're not leading the division anymore,
I look at it as if these teams were to line up against each other.
Which, again, that's a whole thing that I don't like. Like, the season would end today.
No, not that. That's not what I'm saying.
It's like,
but you wouldn't have Tampa as one of your top 10s?
I do have them in the top 10.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm struggling.
I don't have anybody that's in third place just because they have a good record. I don't have them in my top 10.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But you're not looking at strength of schedule.
I'm just saying San Francisco would not be Philadelphia. They would not be New England. They would not be
You don't think
Indianapolis.
San Francisco could beat New England?
Not with that defense. They cannot beat the Rams.
The defense played pretty well last week.
They obviously cannot beat the Rams because they lost against them Thursday night. They can't beat Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay beat them already. I don't know. I don't think they can beat Denver. I don't think they can beat Detroit. Maybe they can beat the Los Angeles Chargers. I just have no faith in San Francisco. Even when I watch them, I'm like, you guys are not good. Maybe in the fourth quarter,
but
something
winning.
happens.
And I'm sure, again, credit to the coaching staff for sure. They're winning at the end of the day. They're 6.
Yeah, you can say that about New England.
I completely agree. That's why San Fran is like number 10 and New England is right there. I probably like number 11 or 12, somewhere in that range.
Let me see. If I look at the conference, if I look at the overall conference for the NFC, 49ers are in 6th place behind, and then Detroit Lions is behind them. And then none of these teams are in our top 10. That falls after Detroit. So it's like Do you? So you think that all 6 of these teams should be in your top 10 then?
I think right now, just based on what I've seen, this is what my top 10 would look like. It's not going to end like that, right? We know there's a lot more games to play. Like I said, New England goes out there and wins this week against Tampa. There's no way I would not have them in my top 10 because, yes, your strength of schedule is crappy, but you just knocked out 2 top 10 teams, two teams that I have in my top 10, as Buffalo and Tampa. So, it adds a little bit more evidence that maybe you do belong in the top 10. But like I said, I don't think a lot of these teams are not necessarily going to stay there. I think we'll see some teams drop in off and on, but this is where, this is kind of what I feel like in my top 10 right now.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The train left for New England and you can't get on in a week 11.
Okay. Well, go through your top 10. Let's talk about the teams that you've left off.
I only took out KC and put in Buffalo. I have Philadelphia as number 1, Seattle's number 2, New England is number 3, India is number 4, Buffalo is number 5, the Rams are number 6, Tampa Bay at 7, Denver at number 8. I got Detroit at number 9 and the Chargers at number 10. So I don't.
Where's Green Bay?
Green Bay lost to Carolina. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but they're not in my top 10 if you lose to Carolina.
Aren't they in first place right now, though, or no?
Yes, they probably are behind Detroit, but you're not.
That's what I'm saying. You can't.
From week to week, you're not a good team. That's what I'm saying.
None of these teams are every single week.
San Francisco is a good team from week to week.
None of these teams are, is my point. Are any of these teams undefeated? No. Every week, you got to look at the entire picture.
You have a team on your top 10 that might not even make the playoff.
That's a team. Do you want to play Kansas City week 1? Let me ask you that in the playoffs. After what I saw against
Buffalo.
Would you want to play Kansas City if you're the
Patriots?
Bring them on. No one wants to play Kansas City in the playoffs.
Kansas City has issues. Everybody knows that.
I'm not saying they don't, right?
They have issues.
But you do have to acknowledge that the teams that they lost to are all, if I'm not mistaken, all of these are playoff teams. All in the top 10.
Kansas City lost to Jacksonville.
Okay.
They're not in the top 10 for you or me.
Okay. But
should Jacksonville be there since they beat Kansas City?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into too far down the rabbit
That's what I'm saying.
It's like strength of schedule.
If it goes from week to week, these are from week to week my best team, my top 10 teams.
Okay.
Green Bay could have been in here, but they lost to Carolina.
Yeah, but you didn't have them in there last week when they beat Pittsburgh. They weren't in your top 10 last week.
Because Pittsburgh wasn't a good team.
Yeah, but they were 5 wins last week, right? Or 6 wins last week. They would have had 5 wins last week, and you still didn't have them in your. They would have been 5-1-1, and you didn't have them in your top 10 last week.
Yeah, because I had Kansas City in there. Because I really thought Kansas City was going to beat Buffalo. I was like, Kansas City, do your thing. They lost.
But Buffalo's a top 10 team.
Yes.
So they played a good team.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, these teams are going to beat each other back and forth.
I'm sorry if New England has won 6 in a row and you still not hopping on the fact that the MVP, the potential MVP is on the team.
Can we
and you're still not on there. Sorry.
You're
sorry.
Just 2 weeks ago, we can go back and listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
You were saying, don't talk about MVP at all. I don't want to hear it. And now all of a sudden, you yourself are on the hype train with this team.
I'm on the hype train. Doesn't mean that my money's in the hype train.
You are all of a sudden bringing up Mac Jones for MVP. You just said yourself 2 weeks ago.
4 in a row compared to 6 in a row is a big difference.
Yeah, but
that's a big difference.
A strength of schedule that your team but
that's what they said about Jaden Daniels last year.
20 and 40.
Remember last year?
20 wins.
Remember last year when everyone was
losses.
Like praising Jaden Daniels? They were like, "Oh, he's the greatest player in the world, man. Look at how he has Washington winning." And we were sitting right here. And we're like, "That I don't think that can happen with the Patriots right now. Not with this schedule." Wrong again. Wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying we weren't wrong. right? I admitted, hey, they are much better. They're winning these games. I thought that would be a little bit of a challenge for them. And they're doing so well, except for this last game. They're doing so in a pretty decent way. But
they're averaging over 25 points a game. They're not blowing teams out, but they're 25 or more points a game.
Steelers are averaging 25 or more points a game.
But your defense is not showing up.
Yeah,
and I reject your idea of saying Aaron Rodgers should be in the MVP talk. I reject that idea
of Drake May. Why shouldn't
How many? Just without looking it up. How many rushing yards does Aaron Rodgers have?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
What, he has like 20? He's not a running quarterback.
Exactly. So he should not be in the MVP talk.
He's in the,
how many passing yards is he? What is he?
I have no idea.
21st. Okay, he's not in the MVP talk.
Okay, but Drake may
shut it down. What are the odds? 175,000 to 1. Please.
All of a sudden, this guy went from let's slow the hype down with Drake May.
Josh McDaniels is working a magic.
Okay.
They saw what he did with Mac Jones the first year where he made him a Pro Bowl. It was a standing Pro Bowl.
He's doing a great job. I'm not there's nothing bad I've said about the Patriots.
Don't compare Aaron Rodgers.
There's nothing bad I've said about the Patriots. Years old. All I'm saying, let's see after this week, after they play another really good team, if they go out and beat Tampa. I don't know. Tampa doesn't have Bucky Irving, and I think Evans will be. Evans obviously out.
No Irving. No Goodwin. No Godwin. No Evans.
Regardless, if they go out and look impressive, beating Tampa, a well-coached team.
Not impressive. They just need to win.
Okay, fine.
Forget about the style points.
Go out and win.
You like style points. I like the W.
Go out and win.
The W.
They will be in my top 10. If they go out and lose, I don't want to hear anything about how great they are, right?
What do you mean if they go out and lose?
If they go out and lose, what, are you still going to have them ranked?
Listen, it's from week to week. They might still be in the first place division. I don't know. Who is Buffalo playing this week? With the Dolphins. Okay, maybe that's that's an automatic. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into our game picks then.
Let's do it.
This game is going on right now, so we'll skip it. The Raiders Broncos.
Wait, I want to see what the score is at this point. We can give our picks though. I
mean, who really picked the Raiders to win?
Nobody. We both picked Denver to win, and guess what?
What's the score?
They're losing 7-0 right now.
Yeah, but you just mentioned Bo Nix. He's like still in the dressing room right from the next game's Atlanta Falcons versus the Indianapolis Colts at home. Colts are favored by 6.5. 48.5 is your and under. Ron, who'd you pick?
Yeah, this game is in Germany. Hopefully it's the last. I don't know if it's the last international game. Hopefully it is. But it's at 9:30 Eastern. I'm going with Indy. Like I said, I think they have the coaching and the vets to reel them back in and get them back on track, and they should win big.
6.5 points
seems low to me.
Seems very low, but I think that Atlanta defense is pretty good. I think they were really good against the Patriots. So I still go with Indy for this game, but I think that 6.5 is because of that defense, not because of the Drake London or Bijan Robinson. The next game is New York Giants at Chicago Bears. Bears are favored at 4.5. 47.5 is the spread. Ron, who'd you go with?
Listen, I had a hard time picking this game. I have no trust for either of these teams. Chicago almost lost last week and really should have lost. But I'm taking them anyways because the Giants, I think, are just in worse shape. So give me Chicago to win.
Yeah, I got Chicago too because, Giants have so many injuries. It's unreal. So I think at home, Ben Johnson will, do one of those like, this is what we do. This is what we win.
It'll be some Hail Mary at the end or some crazy.
It'll be a crazy game. Yeah. I feel bad for Bears fans. You're like your brother-in-law is Just like, I don't know what's going on when you ask him. Next game, we just talked about Buffalo Bills at Miami Dolphins. Bills are favored by 9.5. 50.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you pick?
Tie for the biggest spread this week. I'm taking Buffalo to win. They should win this pretty easily. Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm thinking Buffalo too. I think 9.5. Listen, I know Buffalo defense is kind of suspect, but we're talking about Tua here. I think Tua will give the ball up. So give me Buffalo to win this game. The next game, Cleveland Browns at New York Jets. Jets are favored at 2.5. 38.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Another game that could go either way, and I had the Jets winning this one, even though this was before they did a fire sale. I feel like changing it, but I don't trust them.
I just changed mine because I was like, I like the Cleveland defense, but I really, really, really like the fact that they shipped out two of their best.
Yeah. Switch mine to Cleveland too. Yeah. With Judkins running the ball at least. I don't know, their quarterback situation in Cleveland is a disaster, but they can run the ball. So give me Cleveland to win this one. Yeah,
this is not going to be a fireworks game, but yeah, give me Cleveland to win this one. Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans. The Jaguars are favored by 1.5. 37.5 is the spread, and we just learned that Stroud is not going to be in this game.
Yeah, I'm still taking Houston. I know David Mills is another quarterback, has been in the league for a while. He's not going to throw up 300 yards or anything like that, but that defense is still very good, and I don't trust Lawrence. I think he's going to make a mistake or two. Houston is playing at home. I'll stick with my Houston pick.
Yeah, I went the other way. I would like Jacksonville with no Stroud here, and they just got Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, which...
Yeah, they lost Travis Hunter for the season, I think.
Yeah, I think he's out, so he's going to take his spot. I actually trust him more than Hunter. I don't know if he's going to learn the offense in such short time, but give me Jacksonville. And you're right, Houston does have a pretty good defense, but I don't know if they're going to be scoring. So give me Jacksonville. Next game, Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 6.5. 44.5 is the spread. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, another game I'm looking at, and I'm thinking 6.5 is probably not enough. Good job of Brissett last week, but Seattle's a different beast. I think Seattle's going to win pretty easily.
Yeah, give me Seattle. And Ron, I think I might have moved my Drake May money for MVP, which he did valiantly. He earned me some money, but now I'm putting on Seattle. I already had money to win that division, but now...
Oh, it's Seattle win the division. Okay.
No, I had Seattle already to win that division. Because when I way back at the beginning of the season, they were like plus 500. I think it's a lot lower now. But I might have moved Seattle to win the conference. That's how impressed I am by Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the defense.
Trust me, I was impressed when they put a beat down on the Steelers. We had no answer for them.
Yeah, they have a good defense. They have a good receiver, and they just got another good receiver.
That's the thing I didn't understand about, the trade that they made, because they have a lot of good receivers. So
yeah, but I felt like Njigba was like only one getting the catches.
Well, Torrey Horton exploded for 2 touchdowns last weekend. I've been saying all year, like, he's the best receiving rookie that was coming out of the draft, in my eyes.
Not the Tampa Bay rookie?
No, I thought Torrey Horton was going to be the biggest steal. I was hoping the Steelers took him. He reminded me a lot in college of like George Pickens. Looked extremely impressive. Now, he had the injury, and that's why he dropped to the 5th round. But he's been healthy, and he's been playing well. But they don't use... I don't want to say they don't use him. They use him, but they are still a run-heavy, play-action team. And there's only, a certain amount of balls that are being thrown. So and Jigma is your number one. So it's interesting that they traded for what's his face and added him to the mix.
Shaheed, I think his name is Shaheed. Next game, and we both picked Seattle. Next game, LA Rams at San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are favored at 4.5. 49.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, two teams inside my top 10 in the same division here. So something that's got to give. I got the Rams knocking San Francisco out here. I do think they are the better team here. So I'm taking the Rams.
I don't like San Francisco, and we already mentioned that already. I'm taking the Rams here. And the Stafford train is picking up steam. If he does well for this game, he might be talking MVP talks. I think he's 4th or 5th place right now, but he's playing well. McVay, I have him playing really well. Next game, the Detroit Lions at Washington Commanders. And we said no, Jaden Daniels. 8.5 for Detroit. It's favored. 49.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Give me Detroit after that loss last week. They're going to look to get back in the win column. And I mean, they are a much better team. If they play to their potential, this can get out of hand quickly. So, and it should. Detroit's going to win this one easily. Yeah,
Detroit should win. I mean, Commanders have injuries here left and right. And to be honest, I don't remember the trade on last year. They went all in because they were like, oh no, Jaden Daniels, this and that. We need to go all in. And look at what happened. Now they gotten old. They got injured. Lattimore's out. So yeah, give me Detroit to win this. Monday night, Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is favored by 2.5. 44.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
This will be a great game. Might be the best game of the season. I'm taking Philly to win this one. I think I have Philly in winning the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, or at least in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to take Philly to win this one. Green Bay is so inconsistent on offense. I'm gonna go with Philly.
Yeah, I originally picked Philly to win this game, but then I switched to Green Bay because I was like, there's no way that they're gonna lose 2 home games in a row. I can't see that happening, even though with the game that Jordan Love had, it was terrible game.
Yeah, I got Philly beating Buffalo. I had to go back and look.
So I got Green Bay, and that's not my upset special, but I got Green Bay. Ron, let's talk about our teams. New England at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's favored by 2.5. 48.5 is the over and under. What's your prediction?
We talked a lot about Patriots and how good they are or are not. I think they are going to have a lot on their hands this week, and I don't know if some of their top players are going to be playing for the Bucs. But what I do know is Tampa's coming off a bye week, and they'll be prepared. So I'm taking Tampa to win at home, 30-24. What time's this game, by the way?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, this would have been a great primetime game.
Yeah, I think this is the marquee game of the 1 o'clock. All the other ones are maybe the Ravens-Vikings game, but this is the one I want to watch at 1 o'clock. I have New England winning, and this is gonna be a defensive battle because I think that Tampa Bay has a pretty good defense, and New England has a good run defense. I have New England winning 17-14. I had them winning 28-24, but I think that they're going to struggle a little bit. I think Baker Mayfield doesn't have all the weapons that he started with. And, I know that he likes to take over games. He likes to extend the play, basically. I just don't know how far he can do that or how much, if he has a play personnel to do that. And same thing with Drake May still have fumbling issues. And I think something like I saw some stat where he's been sacked more than 4 times, almost exclusively every game. So it's like the line is not really that good, and you're facing Tampa Bay defensive line is really good. But ultimately, I think that they score more points. I think that they go 17-14. New England on top, and that will be 7 in a row. And then you can finally put them in your top 10.
Yeah, and if they lose, I want to see how you respond.
Well, it might still be. We don't know what's going to happen with the other teams, so it might still be. Who knows? Maybe Miami does something with the Bills. Who knows? Let's hope not, but who knows? And I think I have Buffalo there. Who's the other one that we don't know about? Denver.
San Fran. We both have them losing, and they were in my top 10. So if they lose to the Rams, again, they'll be knocked out.
And, let's talk about, because I have the Chargers losing. But let's talk about Pittsburgh at LA Chargers. 2.5 is the spread for the Chargers. 45.5 is the point spread. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game here because I think the line started off at 3.5 when I first checked it early this week, and it's moved to 2.5. I think Pittsburgh is the better team because of health. I think they'll figure out a way to pull this one off. The Chargers have an outstanding quarterback and really good receivers that worry me. But Pittsburgh has a devastating pass rush. And Chargers are missing both their tackles. So if Pittsburgh could they don't even have to repeat what they did last week. If they can have 5 or 6 sacks again, maybe 2 turnovers, they're going to win this game. And I think that's what I see happening. So I gave Pittsburgh the win here, 27-24.
Yeah, I mean, the same reason that you mentioned. I think Pittsburgh, I know they have some injuries, but not as bad as the Chargers injury. And I don't think the Chargers can score. It has them any game this year that they score more than 25 points.
I'm sure they probably have.
I feel like every game is either 14, 10, 17. I don't think they have I don't think that's in their DNA to score that many points. So I got them losing 24-17 to Pittsburgh. They don't have the horses, so I don't think they can do it.
Yeah, last 2 weeks actually they've scored 27 points this week against the Titans. The week before that, 37 points against the Vikings. They're putting up 20 points few times, but to your point, they've had some games where they've been in the teens as well.
Yeah, I just don't know. And this is a pretty good defense. We're not talking about Tennessee defense. We're talking about the Pittsburgh. So give me 24-17 Chargers to lose. Ron, who's your upset special?
Yeah, I went to the New Orleans Carolina game. I know Carolina, that spread is pretty big to me, 5.5. I know they just came off a win. Over under is 39.5. I'm going to take New Orleans and their rookie quarterback, Tyler Shuck, to win 23-20. Tyler got his first start last week. Looked okay. Made some really good throws, but that team there's not a lot of weapons around them, and they just traded their receivers. So, but I still got New Orleans to win. Again, Carolina's up and down. I think Saints will pull off an upset here.
Yeah, I think Carolina. I think they're building something. They're not there yet because you mentioned they have to look at the quarterback situation. But I got Carolina winning. I don't trust the Saints at all. What they're doing, even if they switch quarterbacks, but then they do a lot of dumb mistakes, a lot of dumb penalties, and give me Carolina. My upset special is Ravens at Vikings. Baltimore is favored by 4.5. 49.5 is the spread, but give me Minnesota. I think that they're gonna have some kind of answer for Lamar. I'm still debating whether Baltimore fixed their defensive issues during the bye week. So I got Minnesota winning 24-21. I don't know if JJ McCarthy can score that many points, but I like Minnesota's defense over Baltimore's.
Minnesota win would put them at 5-4, and that would be two pretty decent teams. Well, Detroit's really good, that they've knocked off, and you probably got to start to wonder, are they a playoff team if they can get to 5-4?
Well, with Baltimore, they are like in desperation mode. I mean, I know that this is a non-conference game, but they can't afford to lose anymore. No,
they got to win. They got to win most of these games.
Yeah, they got to win. So let's look at the strength of schedule.
Yeah, so I wanted us to focus really on the teams, our teams, obviously, and then the teams that we're chasing or chasing us for the division lead. So talked a lot about the Patriots. I'll start there, about how easy their schedules has been and their record against teams that they've won, 20-40. Not impressive at all. Steelers, on the other hand, have been 20-20 in their wins against teams that are 20-20. So just looking at the Patriots for the past games, they've had the number one easiest schedule. No surprise there, really. And then looking ahead, they have the number 7 easiest schedule. No surprise there. So they have a really good chance to get to 10 wins, potentially even 11. You got Tampa, the Jets twice, Cincinnati, the Giants, Buffalo, Baltimore, and then the Dolphins, right? Easy schedule. Well, what's the Bucs have? The Bucs, not the Bucs, the Bills. They've had the 5th easiest schedule, and they have the 3rd easiest schedule remaining. So an even easier schedule if you just talk about wins and losses for the Buffalo Bills. So they got Miami, Tampa, Houston, Pitt, Cincinnati, New England, Cleveland, Philly, the Jets. What does all that mean? What it means is going to be a really, really tight race, I think, in the AFC East. And the Patriots cannot afford to let up because, they let's say they lose to Tampa this week and they lay an egg against Cincinnati or something like that, a team that we expect them to beat. Buffalo has an easy schedule and can surpass them. So both those teams, are really in the hunt, and that division is still wide open. And it's kind of the same story in the AFC North as well. Steelers have had a very difficult schedule, number 30, so far, early this year. The rest of the way, they have the 18th, so middle of the pack, basically. You got the Chargers, Cincinnati, Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Cleveland, and Baltimore. So some really easy games, and then some really, really difficult games the rest of the way. Sitting here at, what's their record? 5-3 at this point. So they got the lead. The Ravens have had the 23rd most difficult schedule, and they have a very easy schedule ahead. Number 9, the 9th easiest. The Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets, Cincinnati, Pitt, Cincinnati, again, New England, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. Cincinnati as well has the 13th hardest schedule, or easiest schedule left as well. They're sort of in the race. I think Baltimore probably has the easier road ahead and better chance to make the playoffs. What's it mean for the Steelers? They got to win some games too, because Baltimore, with the 9th easiest schedule, can easily surpass them and take over the division lead. So, we're 10 weeks in, and we still don't know who's winning these divisions. And it's really up for grabs, for sure. So I just, thought it was interesting to look at strength of schedules. And you can look at some of the other teams too, and who they faced, and see, are they really a good team? You talked about the Colts. How good are they? They had 30 easiest schedule. Yeah, they got all those wins, but against the 30 easiest schedule, and they had the 8th easiest as well. So maybe there's question marks for the Colts too.
I mean, even Tampa Bay. Look at Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like people are discounting the Patriots this week because they're like, Tampa Bay is a good team, but other than Seattle, who have they beaten? Nobody. Same thing, when they faced Buffalo, they were like, Buffalo is a good team, but they hadn't beaten anybody.
Yeah.
So I like our chances this week. I really, really like our chances. Again, no Keyshawn Booty, but maybe Kyle Williams can come in and do something. Maybe Chisholm will actually get
some playing
time. I don't know. Definitely not Brendan Wright. We just signed him to the practice squad. He's not even on the active roster. He hasn't made an NFL catch. So don't even count on him. However, I'm not worried whether New England wins the division. Because they're in the playoffs.
Right. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as you get in, I think that's going to be a successful year.
Yeah.
Now,
if they fall to second place, though, and let's say Denver, keep doing what they're doing and barely win every single game, but they get in. Let's say the Chargers, do what they do and they barely get in. Now you're talking about, you got like a bunch of teams that are like 10 wins and someone's going to be on the outside looking in. So that'll be interesting too. Like who's going to get left off at this point? Because
I don't have any trust of two teams coming out of the North. I think that whoever wins that division is in. However, when it comes to the AFC West, maybe three teams. That could change depending on the AFC South. What Jacksonville does. But I still don't see any other team coming out of the North. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. This week, I would say, if we were not, since this is a marquee game, basically you can have all the other games. Thank you, YouTube. But this is a game that is going to determine. I know that the Patriots have a late bye week, but if they win this game against Tampa Bay, that's 7 wins in a row, and then as your schedule mentioned, then they have the Jets twice. Then they have the Giants, who we know they're,
mailed it in
already. Cincinnati,
coach is getting fired.
Who has no defense.
Yeah.
Miami, who same thing. They're just going through the steps right now. The only real teams are Buffalo and Baltimore.
Oh yeah, and as bad as Cincinnati is, Flacco's more than capable of throwing 400 yards on you.
Yes, but it doesn't matter if you have 400 yards and your defense stinks.
Exactly. Agree.
You have to have the other team score less than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they find out with Chicago Bears and the Jets, they just not. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago, this team is cooked.
Yeah.
This team is cooked. That the fact that Zach Taylor still has a job, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. All right, Ron, what do you got to say to the Steelers out there, Steelers fans?
Man, we were back on track. Steelers' issue is always being consistent, though. So let's see what happens this week. I think we match up really well against the Chargers. I think it's going to be hard-nosed, but we can win this game. And if we win, great. If we don't, not good. But, keep hope alive. Don't give up just yet. And let's hope for a really good week this week.
Listen, this is the marquee game of the week for week 10. Let's put on a show. Let's play all 4 quarters. Let's show that I think they're 3-0 against the NFC South already. Let's make it 4-0. Let's just sweep them. I know that I was watching I don't know who it was. I think it was what was that? Sims and the other guy. I forgot his name. But he was talking about, the other guy was talking about Joshua McDaniels, he was there. He saw Baker Mayfield in person, and he still didn't, sign him next year. So they could have a chip on the shoulder. Baker Mayfield doesn't need that extra motivation.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna do good anyway. So I don't know. Maybe we just talk is cheap anyways. But I want them to show up this week. I don't want them to be, blown out. This is gonna be a close game. So
I don't see a blowout at all.
Yeah, I don't see a blowout, but at least play all 4 quarters, because against the Falcons, they played 3 quarters and then for some reason they stopped playing. But it goes back to like not having enough people on your team.
Experience too.
Yeah. I mean, experience had to do with it, but that line is very shady. Very shady. And this is a good defense. So next week we'll have week 11. It's going to be episode 137. So, and then what? Then the next week, is it Thanksgiving? No, we got one more. Okay, so Thanksgiving is still a couple of weeks away. So until then, I say peace.
Peace. All right, that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for all your support and listening today. If you got any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. That's SYMSPORTSMEDIA@gmail.com. Peace.